Usually, everyone gets few days off from their routine busy life, which we call as break. But we do not consider visiting our relative's place, spending a day in shopping mall, or watching a movie in cinema as vacationing. Because for us, vacationing is something that provides us an escape from the chaos of urban world. So we always look for spots that are surrounded with nature to soothe our pains and calm us within. We go for vacation where we either find luscious green plains or snow-clad mountains or deep blue sea surrounded by sand, where cold breeze touches our face and animal sounds provides an ease. So this is your Sakshi ma'am this side, and I welcome you all to my video. Today in this video we will look at lesson 1.5, The Alchemy of Nature, which is an interesting article penned by Raksha Bharadia. In this article, she describes her close experiences with different features of nature and the wonderful lessons she has learned from it. Raksha Bharadia is a young Indian writer who is well known as an editor of Chicken Soup Indian Soul series. She is the founder of website Bornbology. Some of her popular books are Roots and Wings in 2008, Me, A Handbook for Life in 2006, All and Nothing in 2018, and so on. The article Alchemy of Nature begins with few lines from the poem of William Blake. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. By William Blake. The writer here wants to convey the same philosophy as the Blake does in these lines, which means if you pause to reflect, there is much beauty in nature and plenty that we can learn from it. It says that something as tiny as a grain of sand can spark off, that is, initiate an idea or imagination which can be a huge significance to the world. If one has eyes and time to see it, one can witness and experience the beauty of heaven in something as small as wild flowers and can obtain joy forever. Infinity and eternity are endless, but one's great deeds can even surpass or exceed the limits of time and space. They never die. The writer begins by stating that we instinctively, that is by natural instinct, turn to outdoor activities and nature as a way of relaxing and enhancing our well-being. Nature soothes and nurtures. That means nature calms and cares. It encourages the development and it fulfills and motivates us. The writer says that nature just leaves her in complete awe, that means in great wonder and amazement, when she tries to listen to the whisper and command of nature. She expresses her views by taking examples around us. In the first example, she takes us to a garden where every fortnight a flower blossoms on the hibiscus plant. Big, bright and tender. Through the day, it blooms in its full glory, but as evening approaches, it starts wilting, that is, drying and dropping. And next morning, it withers completely, that is, complete dried up. And by that evening, it falls and becomes one with the earth again. Now, writer tells us that even though the flower comes to life only for a day, yet it does so in full splendor, that is, great beauty which attracts admiration and attention. From this example, she tells us that we too should live our life, however short, to its fullest. In her second example, the writer talks about a rocky beach and the majestic ocean beyond it. The rocks along the beach get carved, sculpted, and shaped by the continuous motion of the waves. These rocks take the shape that the water commands. Even when we know that the water is so gentle and the rock so hard. By this example, the writer explains that even our problems are massive and we are so small. Yet, if we put in continuous efforts, we might be able to accept the change and adjust according to the situation. In her next example, the writer was left wondering when she saw small bits of grass peeping through small cracks in concrete pavement. Through this, she gives us a message that however impossible things may seem to be, there is always an opening. Moving forward with next example, seeing a tree bare of all leaves. In cold winter months, we might think that its chapter is over, that means it's dead. But when the spring sets in, we can see the same dead tree back to its majesty, full of leaves, flowers, birds, and life. The writer here urges the readers to learn from the tree and have strong belief that however difficult things may be at the present moment, hard times do not last forever. Further, the writer observed an army of ants lugging, that is pulling with great difficulty, a fly which was at least 10 times the ant's size. The ants organized themselves around the fly, lifted it on their frail or weak legs, and carried it to a quiet distance. Their teamwork and perseverance impressed her. Looking at this example, the writer asks us to wonder what if we too are consistent, organized, and focused, how light our work would become. The writer gives us more examples of lessons from nature, where she tells us about spider webs. Spider webs are delicate yet very strong, which reflects that sensitive people are also very strong. Next, she gives an example of rainbow. A single simple rainbow colors the entire sky, which shows one person can bring about the change. Next, we look at oysters. Oysters take in a grain of sand and open up with a pearl. That is, they take in pain and spread happiness. Stars. Innumerable stars shine across the infinite sky. That is, shine so that people look up to you. Next, we have clouds. Clouds take new shapes with every passing moment. It teaches us to evolve. Next, we have wind. The wind makes trees dance with passion, which is unhindered, that is not disturbed. It shows us the strength of the wind. Next, we have water. Water changes its form according to the dictates of sun and the wind, that is vapor or ice. It means that you may turn according to some dictates and not see it as an ego. You must not have ego. The writer says, when we see a caterpillar turn into a butterfly, a flower turn into a fruit, we experience the alchemy of nature. That is, the mysterious magical process of transforming things of nature. It is this alchemy which, when touches us, turns us into gold.